Yo. Yo. What is up? What's going on? Hope everyone's having a good day today. Obviously, we'll be talking draft. We'll be talking stuff. We'll do the same normal routine as possible. But yeah, we're just chilling out today. Nothing exciting really going on, but obviously more pre-draft visits with the Eagles as we kind of update ourselves a little bit more and more with everything that's going on. Peter Skoronski is definitely one that we've been talking about, and obviously probably wouldn't play tackle here. I think they would kick him into guard, and I think would do a really good job. Depending on Cam Jurgens, the competition, giving him competition at right guard next to Kelsey and Lane. They have to draft an offensive lineman in the first, obviously 3 picks. I mean, that's a definite. We're definitely doing that. There's no doubt. We're definitely doing that. So, you know what I'm saying? But I want to say hi to everybody in the chat right now. What's going on, everybody? Got DB Cooper. What's going on? HG Prod. We got Chris Graham, a Rogue N7 Dragon. We got SE Birds fan. What's going on, man? Hope you're having a good day, dude. Blaine Kelly Green says that's what I'm talking about, Joey, making the end of the workday go by quick. Hey, look, if I can help that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Chaos Philly O-line has 2 old players, as long as the 2 not even close. He says, happy birthday, Joey. Happy birthday. It's not Easter yet, is it? No. But happy Easter, everybody, if I don't see anybody on Sunday. Mike says, how much does Lane have left in the tank? I'd say a couple more years. I don't know. I think he has a lot left in the tank. The problem is his injuries right now. Like, the injuries are a little concerning. He's dealt with consecutive ankle injuries and then the torn abductor last year, which he actually played really good on. He played actually pretty damn good on, I got to say. I think he played really well on it. DB says Carter at 10 still. I don't know. I mean, are you talking what the Eagles want or what I think they will do or what I would do? If it comes to the Eagles, I don't know. It's a possibility. I mean, he could be gone by 10. I mean, there's realism that he could be gone by 10. I still think Seattle can draft him. I still think the Bears could draft him. So, I think he's on the table. And it's weird because, a player doesn't a player from this draft is not going to exclude, not having interviews with teams out of the top 10. So obviously the Eagles and Bears are one of those 2 teams have said, hey, like, you get to 10, you get to 9, we're going to draft you. So that's when I kind of say, like, a deal in place, I should say, where, not that, there's no promise they can get drafted there. But if the Eagles say, hey, we'll make, look, we want you, you get to 10, we'll draft you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like one of those 2 teams have promised him that. So we'll see. We'll see. I like Carter a lot. I really do. Nothing to, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on, but John Jones, what's going on, dude? Elmir says, Joey, if you had to stay still at 10 and 30, who would you take at those 2 spots with players that one project to be around those areas? What would they be? I mean, if it's up to me right now, I mean, I'd honestly probably go Bijan Robinson at 10, and I'd probably get a weapon for your offense. Obviously, that's going to score you more points. And most likely, I'd probably go after Kalijah Kancey or what's his name? I don't want to say his name wrong. The guy from Clemson I really do like too. Baris. I always say Baris, probably not Barry or Brees or something like that. I keep forgetting his name. I always forget his name. Brian Barisi or something. Watch tape on him. I go after obviously getting a weapon on offense and trying to get a trench guy if possible. Leon Felix is a Bijan Robinson priority draft for Eagles. I think they have a lot of interest. I think they have a shit ton of interest. If you want to know, I think they do. There's some inside information going on that I think they have a lot of interest in Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson. Obviously with the Ohio State's offensive line the past couple of years have been fantastic. I mean, just one of the best. I think the best in the country. Where you can get a guy like DeJuan Jones as well if you feel that, or you want to, make a different move at 30 for Osiris Torrance if they feel like he could be the guy. I feel like what I want, what the Eagles want are two different things. I just dream. I pretty much just dream. But at the same time, I have to be realistic within myself. That the Eagles could take they take an offensive lineman at 10. There's no doubt about it. You know what I mean? Like I think could still realistically happen, and I won't be upset about it at all. AO says, do you bring up Kane to compete with Watkins for? Is he still on the practice squad? I don't even know if he's still on the practice squad. Did he even get re-signed? That's what I don't know. Yeah, Deion Kane was interesting. He was making some good catches in the preseason. But no, I don't think he's better. No, I don't. I think Kane literally flashed. We need more wide receiver depth. Like we need one more piece. That's it. I don't want to trade Quez. I don't want to get rid of him. I want to keep him here because he's cheap still. Realistically, I think the Eagles are going to give. I think realistically they're going to give Quez another shot. I mean, I think that's what they're going to do. It's just one of those things where, when you're a receiver, number 3 receiver, and the amount of like passes that he's missed because he wasn't ready for them. I think that was one big issue with Quez last year was. As a wide receiver 3, I think that's the worst position because you're not the focal point of the offense. And you got to be ready when that ball is coming your way as a wide receiver 3. And there were times where, Hurts put the ball in the right spot and Quez wasn't even paying attention. Wide open. You know what I mean? So you never know what you can get on plays like that. Let's see, Dom says Skoronski will probably be a guard in the NFL level, will be cross-trained to be able to do tackle. He's not versatile. He's just not versatile. He's good at it too. He's all right. So yeah, I don't think they would bring him. Yeah, I don't think he would be here as a tackle. I think obviously they would kick him in the guard. I think that's what would happen. There's been issues, I guess, not really issues, but he's had his niche on, his pass protection. Obviously his run blocking is a lot better. Kind of what Samalo was, to be honest with you, because Samalo was, I wasn't a big fan of Isaac Samalo when we drafted him. His run blocking was great. His pass protection was always suspect at times, but I got to say, man, like he got better every year. And I'm not even a big Isaac Samalo fan. He did, he went from left side to right side. He had a good little he had a good stint here in Philadelphia, man. Dower says, I really don't know how he will choose at this point. Any ideas? Yeah, it could be almost anything, man. I mean, it could be offensive line. It could be, running back between 10 to 30. It could be, it could be anybody in the trenches, really. Reb says, what up, Joey? What do you think about getting Carter at 10, take our 30 pick in 3rd round next year since we're getting a comp pick for CJ and move up for B-Rob? Yeah, that's really up to them, man. The problem is they have to jump in front of 14. So that's the issue. So, they have to jump in front of the Patriots because I think there's been a lot of news swirling around that the Patriots have a lot of interest in Bijan Robinson at 14. And could get him. So if you miss out on him with the 10th pick and you want to go back up and get him, you might have to use that extra second round pick to go up and get him, probably. I mean, it's just one of those situations where I think if he's at 10, you got to get him at 10. So we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Gustavo, what's going on, dude? Be going down this chat a little bit, so I'm not far behind. John says, how many more days till the draft? Well, the 27th, man. So we got a couple weeks, to go here. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Big Dad G said the best defense is unstoppable offense. Totally true, man. Totally true. Dower says, I don't think many of us will be thrilled, but I could definitely imagine how picking the best offensive lineman. No, I mean, a lot of Eagles fans will probably be mad because it's not it's not technically a weapon, and I totally get it, but you got to think about it. The offensive line changes after this year. So to wait a whole year and then having no depth behind your offensive line right now because Dillard's gone and Driscoll is nothing more than an okay right guard. I mean, I thought Driscoll, I had a lot of high hopes for Driscoll. He was able to, he was another guy that cross-trained at Auburn from left tackle, right guard, right tackle. Even played center a little bit too. And Driscoll just, I don't know, he kind of fell off a little bit. Like he came here as a right tackle, and I thought he played really well. Didn't play for a bit, got injured a couple times, and not really doing much. Him playing right tackle for us wasn't great. I thought with more reps he'd play better, and he played worse. I think he's a better right guard, really, at the end of the day. Yeah, Deion Kane, I don't know where he's at. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. It says T.Y. Hilton's still out there. He might be all right as a 3. He probably. Yeah, I don't think he signed with anybody. Yeah, constantly you see him till tired. Oh, tired. My stomach was a mess. My stomach was a mess this morning. I didn't really feel good this morning, but I'm good. I'm good to go. DB says defense is your pressing need. You need to stop the run. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to cover defensive line. I mean, I don't get what the whole deal is with this defense. Like, they're going to cover these spots. I'm not worried about them getting another couple trench guys in this draft. Like, this defense doesn't have to be elite. Simple as that. They don't have to be elite. This offense needs to score more points. This defense just needs better coaching. I don't really think it's the roster. I think they just need better coaching, and then you just need a couple pieces, and they're fine, really. I think they're going to be fine. So I'm not even really worried about it, to be honest. I mean, this defense needs to be at best average, like literally at best average to make stops. Like, last year was last year, and the Eagles were loaded with no coaching. The Eagles had a loaded defense with no coaching. So I think we're going to get the total opposite this year, and probably makes a difference. So that's what I'm kind of hoping right now. The average is, considering how fantastic Jalen Hurts is, just keeping him weapons. He's second only in Patrick as the best quarterback in the entire NFL. It's true. So he says, is there any possibility for trade Henry second round pick? No, probably not. Sky says, yo, Joey, I'm not mistaken. Jordan Davis was our first person we brought in building for pre-draft visit last season. Then we ended up drafting him. Maybe we did tell Jalen Carter it stops at 10. I think, because here's the thing. It's like, okay, so Jalen Carter's agent's like, do not do any pre-draft visits outside the top 10. And Jalen Carter's like, okay. And his agent is promising Jalen Carter, okay, you're not, don't worry, we will get you drafted in the top 10. So there's got to be something going on. What other teams is he going to visit in the top 10? It really this is kind of a different draft thing. This is different draft news you normally don't hear. Okay, when you hear players that want to visit teams outside the top 10, is like, what? Like, why wouldn't the guy keep his options open? This is meaning, with the 2 pre-draft visits he's had with the Bears and the Eagles at 9 and 10, it's showing me right now that one of these two teams or both of them have promised to draft them if they hit on that, if they, he gets to that pick. So we're gonna find out if he visits Seattle, if he visits we'll see. We'll find out. Nothing's happened yet. He's visited two teams. Bears, Eagles, boom, done. You know what I mean? So I give it I feel like there's somebody made somewhat of a promise here. And I think the Eagles are definitely one because I think the Eagles know a lot more about Jalen Carter than a lot of people do. Plus, they have two players that played with him, with Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean. So, I mean, it connects. It connects too perfectly. It connects way too perfectly in this situation. DB said Jalen Carter is not the brightest bulb. Just think about it. If he said he's not visiting anybody, that's the time he thinks he's being drafted by somebody. He might be, but he might go top 10 still. Like, there might be a team that doesn't give a crap about what's been going on with him. Like, it's happened before. Like, I'm not surprised if he gets drafted in the top 10 with everything going on. I don't think it would be shocking. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be shocking. Ski says Robinson is elite, but I don't think fans are looking at this wisely. The reason we got the Super Bowl is because of our defense, D-line. The D-line let us year in the playoffs. Now it's completely depleted. It's not our defense isn't completely depleted. Like, we got our two outside corners back. Terrell Evans is going to have a really big year. He's going to sign a big deal with the Steelers. I think he's a really good stopgap player. I think he's going to thrive in this defense next to Reed Blankenship if they don't bring anybody else in. Nakobe Dean's it should be good. I mean, I'm hoping. We've seen a lot of flashes, and Nicholas Morrow, I think, is a very underrated player right now. I think your defensive end position is not bad besides Barnett. If Barnett can at least contribute, it wouldn't be bad. Hassan Reddick had double-digit sacks. Brandon Graham comes back. Josh Sweat's still here. DT, I mean, Kadarius Street, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams. I mean, it's not bad, but they got to add at least another piece there. And you add Jalen Carter to that D-line, I think you're fine. If they go running back or they go Brian Burris or they, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. So we'll see. Big Daddy Count says Watkins does things that don't show up at stat sheets, make him number 4 and go in the number 3. Yo, Ant, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. William says, I'm hearing Cam Newton is interested in signing with the Eagles as a backup. Well, not anymore because Marcus Mariota is the backup for the Eagles now, so that's definitely not happening. Plus, I would never want him anyway. He'd be the last quarterback I'd want. Bad Clone says, who is having a better offseason before the draft so far? Eagles, Cowboys, Commies, or Giants? I mean, as far as like moves that would have been made, I mean, the Cowboys definitely got better. There's no doubt they got better. Gilmore's a good player. See how he holds up this year. Getting Brandon Cooks was a good deal. Signing Wilson at safety to an extension was a good deal. So they'd locked some players up, and they've gotten some. They got a number 1 corner for a year. It really depends on going forward with I think the Cowboys have made some pretty good moves. I think with the Cowboys they've made some good moves. I'm not going to go away from it. They made some good moves, but as much as Cowboy fans complain about our defense, I complain about their offense winning playoff games. And getting to that next level. And I don't know if they have the quarterback to do it. I think they're just going to do as much around Dak as possible as they have been doing. And they really put pressure on him this year to get something done. Like, here, we gave you a number 2 wide receiver. Go do something. And then Mike McCarthy's going to be a big question mark this year in his play calling and what he does. So who knows what happens? You know what I mean? I think as for a standpoint of the roster getting like a lot better from last year, Dallas definitely got the roster a lot better. The Eagles really weren't even looking at new players. The Eagles were really just trying to retain players. I think from a standpoint of who they got, I think the Cowboys had the best moves. The Eagles were really trying to just retain players. But their offense is still intact. So obviously I put the Eagles behind the Cowboys right now as of like moves, not as of like what team could do better through the year. Paper is paper at the end of the day. What's on paper is on paper, and how it looks is how it looks in the offseason. The Giants would be third because I don't know. Actually, it's tough because I'd probably put Washington at 3 because the Giants, you just paid your quarterback and you do nothing with, you don't put any weapons around Daniel Jones. Like they have Campbell. They got Campbell. They got that tight end from the Raiders that's never healthy. He's a good player. Never healthy. Sterling Shepard comes back. Like you're paying your quarterback $40 million a year and you're barely putting any weapons around him. The defense is like not great. I don't know. Their offensive line, have they even touched their offensive line at all? Like the Giants I think they'll be in third place just because they have good coaches. They'll be coached better. They'll fight a little bit more. I just don't think they have enough talent. And I don't think you're putting enough talent around your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback now. And the Washington Commanders, quarterback hell, man. It's just they're simply not going to go anywhere. They're going to waste all this talent on their roster because of that fucking quarterback situation. They are. Like Jacoby Brissett, like come on now. Like really? We'll see. But that's how I have it right now. Average wasn't good enough during your last game. Well, they didn't make any stops. That's the issue. They didn't make any stops. We had a better defensive roster last year. We had a better roster. We had a loaded roster last year. We didn't have the right coach last year. I think you guys get really fucking confused. Like I don't know why. Like they didn't play average in the Super Bowl. They played below average in the Super Bowl last year because of bad coaching. Simple as that. The defensive coordinator did not put this defense in the right position to win to hold up in a Super Bowl last year. Simple as that. He got outcoached. He got outcoached in the last game of the season. So if you think that was average, it's not average. Obviously, if that was average, we probably would have won that game. That's not average. Our starting DTs are Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox, two guys that thrived in limited snaps. We have limited Milt Williams and those two up. Yeah, but yeah, that's the problem. Cox is limited snaps. You can't. He's got to play like 35% of the snaps every game. He can't play 70% of the snaps every year. Now, okay, they have to add at least one more body to defensive tackle, and I think he'll play better with one more guy in the rotation. And I think you're fine. I don't think Fletcher Cox is starting. Obviously, I mean, in the rotation, I feel like if they draft, I think they have a lot of interest in Carter. I think they draft the guy that's going to play next to Davis at the end of the day. I think that's where they're going to go. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Let's says, damn, it's hot in South and go on fishing, ain't catch a damn thing. I've been through that before. Trust me. I used to fish all the time. Somebody thought our D coordinator was a good coach, or they would have hired him as a head coach, right? Interesting. I mean, there's a lot of, look how many defensive coordinators that become head coaches and are total fails. Vic Fangio is a total fail with the Broncos. Like, there's a lot of guys that it doesn't mean anything. There's a million coaches that are coordinators become head coaches and totally fail. That's the norm. That's what happens. They give guys chances, you know. Let's see here. Andy says, I wouldn't put it past how to trade up. That is one sneaky. Yeah, I think there could be a possibility. I mean, obviously with Jalen Carter, I think you're gonna have to trade up. I don't think you could sit at 10 comfortably right now. That's just me at the end of the day. Jeremiah says Sirianni apparently has a big say on who's drafted. I mean, he might. Maybe offensively he does. You know, maybe he does offensively. I don't know. I think Howie and Nick have a really collaborate really well together. I think that's part of it too. Eagles fan for life says Cowboys Robinson would not have half the impact than he would playing behind the beat line in the NFL. That's what's scary. Yeah, the thing is with the Cowboys too is like, they're gonna have to draft an offensive. They're gonna have to draft O-line this draft or something, or get somebody that's gonna do well. They're gonna have to rebuild. They're gonna have to not rebuild the offensive line, but they're gonna have to hit on that position, a little bit at a time now. So at least get a top talent in there. I mean, they're doing a lot of switching. They're moving from a guy from left tackle to right tackle, this guy from right guard. They're moving guys all over the place. Whether it's gonna work or not, we'll see. But Tehran says if Carter is gone, Eagles will probably go O-line, to be honest. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Eagles fan for life says Carter will be gone. Why are we still talking about this? He's 100% won't get by the Bears. Well, we'll see, dude. It doesn't mean the Eagles still can't get him. Doesn't mean we can't talk about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I forgot Sam Howell's still there. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's gonna be. I don't know why. There's no way they have that much faith in him. I mean, they're gonna say that, but let's see here. Best line. Sorry, autocorrect. No, you're good. You're good. Twisted, what up, Joey? I'm late because my goat had. Oh man, really? Wow, that's crazy, dude. Goat have twins. Sirius says, so what the fuck is going on with Cam Newton stuff I'm hearing? I don't know. He's trying to make it. I don't know. Apparently he's trying to. There's a couple players that want him to play in the XFL. The couple players that they want him to play in the XFL, kind of get back to, just maybe play on a different level of football, and then maybe I don't think he's never gonna be a starter ever again. So his best way to start is probably going to the XFL, to be honest. Toe says, I read the report the Eagles are showing a lot of interest in Broderick Jones, the attacker from Georgia. I definitely think they are going O-line the first bit. Yeah, it might. I mean, if you look at the pre-draft visits, I think Broderick Jones, I think, was their third or fourth pre-draft visit. I'm not sure. Paris Johnson, I think, was their second. Visit. Obviously, Bijan was their sixth. It doesn't really matter when they, in order when they come, but I'm just saying, like, you had obviously Jacqueline Roy from LSU as well. Smitty Eagle, what's going on, dude? Says my brother Joey. Any new news? Yeah, nothing much, man. It's just from now on until the draft, it's going to be just a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation, a lot of stuff. You got to take everything with a grain of salt at this point. This is the excitement of the draft. A couple more weeks, man. We are in it, man. And I will DM you back, Smitty Eagle. I know you've been trying to get me on. I've been really, really busy. It's been kind of nuts. I'll get back to you. We'll talk soon. Rich is still a first round running back at 30 pick when then a second round pick, since teams do like it, take running backs in the first. Yeah, I get it. I mean, the Eagles might change things this year. They might go after a top running back this year. I don't know. I wouldn't mind Gibbs at 30. I mean, I've looked at. I mean, there's plenty of guys, man. Like Zach Charbonnet has been out there. I mean, there's a lot of dudes out there that I would definitely take that. I mean, not even just fit the scheme, but just to add another guy for the next 4 years. And at least for now, like, you go into next year, you're down to Kenneth Gainwell, and with Rashad Penny's going to have Rashad Penny's really playing for himself, playing for himself this year, and kind of reviving his career a little bit for a new contract for next year. Not with us, obviously, but with another team. So we'll see. We will see. Hold on. We will see. We will see. Mike says, if we don't draft Bijan, we should draft Zach Charbonnet. Guys, absolutely. Yeah, he's a bulldozer, bro. He's awesome. Litzity says, personally, I like to have Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. If those are two, I'd trade back for Nolan, Bijan, or Darnell Washington. It'd be interesting to see if they actually went after a tight end, dude. I mean, even Darnell wasn't even like pure starter, but as a number 2 weapon behind Goddard to see what he could become. Yeah, I mean, he would definitely get a lot of playing time. There's no doubt about it. I mean, no doubt. I like Nolan Smith. Like, I would trade back for him. I wouldn't draft him like with the 10th overall pick. I would trade back into the mid-teens, probably late first round for him. Who knows? He might drop a little bit further than expected. So, we'll see. Daffer says, so Joey, what do you want at 10? Still Robinson? Yeah, I do. I really do. That's just my dream of drafting him. Other than that, if not, really it's Bijan. If it's only Bijan Robinson if Carter and Will Anderson are not available. And I feel like they probably won't be. Will Anderson will be an interesting one if the Cardinals actually trade that 3rd overall pick because they really don't need a quarterback right now. A team like the Patriots, the Titans, even the Raiders have talked about getting to the number 3 overall. I mean, even trading 3rd overall. I don't know why they might want to draft a guy behind. They might want to draft a guy behind Garoppolo. Will Levis has definitely been talked to about, and not obviously Will Levis is not really a consistent player, and really, I don't know, hasn't really proved himself in big games. So we'll see. There's a lot of teams that want, and obviously we had Will Anderson going to that 3rd overall pick to the Cardinals, and I think that was like that's where they wanted to go. So he could move down a little bit. Do I still think he makes it to 10? No, definitely not. But I think a team is going to be like, oh my God, like we have a chance to get Will Anderson. Let's go get him. So I think that's a possibility. Stout says, still pissed me off that CJ said that about the Lion squad is better. Yeah, it is what it is, dude. Let him talk, dude. He's just pissed. He's just pissed off. It is what it is. At the end of the day, the Eagles offered him a contract. He didn't take it. So, it's like the Eagles didn't like go to him and didn't say anything to him about a contract extension or another. They gave him a deal and he didn't like it. It was a backloaded contract, which kind of sucks. So I get why Chauncey's pissed off in some aspects, because really at the end of the day, like, it was a $28 million contract, but his first 2 years he was getting paid like $3.5 million each, and then the last year would have been $17 million. Like, Howie Roseman was really just working those cap numbers. You know what I mean? So, that's like the only reason I can think. That's the only reason I can think that he's pissed off. Rich says the Eagles get a solid defense like DT or defensive end at 10 is solid, and then get an O-lineman at 30. Yeah, I don't mind that either. Like I said, this is a win-win for the Eagles, guys. Like, if they don't draft the guy I want, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, like, Howie, you're fucking, I'm not going to make a big deal about it at all. Like, I don't, like, everyone has their guy in the draft. Like, if they don't draft Bijan, I'll be like, damn, that sucks. As long as he doesn't go to the Cowboys, I'm fine. But, I'm not going to be upset about it. I won't be really upset about it at all. Anthony says, drafted offensive line with the 10th pick, then trade the 30 back to 15 pick for Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. I'm interested to see. I mean, there's no pre-draft visit with Gibbs yet. At least that would show that they have interest. So I'm interested to see like what they think going down the line of where he's going to be drafted. Should be interesting. So Siri says Carter offensive line or Bijan is what I think is going to happen. Rich said Eagles are in 2 great spots to get another or multiple positions. Brad said if Carter ain't there, we trade back and draft either DL's cornerback, offensive line, or running back priority. I mean, they got Joey Porter on a pre-draft visit, which kind of confuses me a little bit. Do they think like maybe he'll slide into the second round? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Porter will be drafted in the first round unless there's something going on that we don't know about. I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll see. Eagles fan for life says, I'm all kind of excited to get the offensive lineman in the draft. Peter Skoronski or Paris. They both look like they're going to be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm more of I like Paris a lot more than Skoronski, but I like Skoronski too because I think obviously they'll put him at guard and have him in competition with Cam Jurgens. Andrew says, "How has there been any news on the Eagles looking into Neal now that he's not with Seattle?" Oh, he signed with Tampa, so that's done. Ryan Neal already signed with Tampa, so I don't know. They picked him up though. Eagles Favorite Live says, "How come do you think Howie ain't signed anybody yet? Do you think you're just playing it safe, laying out the options, or is he getting all his cards together to go?" I think part of it is like I think maybe he's trying to acquire a player. It could be. The only moves I could see the Eagles making with the rest of free agency right now is there's a lot of defensive ends that are still available. There's another defensive tackle, Quentin Jefferson, still available as well at 20. Was he like 28, 29 with 5.5 sacks last year? Even though I think they're done at defensive tackle right now. They've already hit on that position 2 times with Cox and obviously Kadavia Street. I don't know if there's going to be a blockbuster trade, but who knows, what they could be looking for to get in some type of trade, or maybe there's a team that gets really aggressive to trade up to 10 and like we get a lot of picks for it. So who knows, man? Like, I think we're playing the waiting game right now. I think he's trying to work some things out. It's a big question mark, but yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. Sure. I mean, I think he's looking for something out there probably. Bird's eye view said at some point we have to use these 2 first-round picks and stop pimping for the next draft. Yeah, you have to hit on this draft. You got to do it because you could give Jalen Hurts that extension next year, which rumored to be that extension is going to be very cap-friendly right now, which is good. But yes, 13, 14, I don't know how many draft picks, could have 11 to 12 draft selections next year. You have the extra second round pick on top of it, unless they don't use it this year. You're gonna have a lot of picks next year. Now, Eagles will have a lot of picks. Rich says we just gotta trust his direction, how he earns it. What's going on, Jack Dwight? He says Skoronski is perfect choice since we need a guard who could start and who could replace Lane when needed. We have no dependable offensive line depth. That is true. Just Jack Driscoll, really. Other than that, like Driscoll is the closest one to being just an okay backup right tackle, just because he's started in a lot of games. He's played a lot of games. He's got the most. He's the last line of defense, really, for that backups. For at least the right side of the line. So, Deus Carter is going to drop like a rock. We'll see, dude. We'll see. I don't think he's going to drop at all. I don't think he's dropping. Torville said if we had a big athletic second tight end in the RPO, it would create a major headache for defenses. The Eagles would definitely get a tight end somewhere in the draft. I forgot who they brought in. They brought in one guy. They have interest in at least drafting somebody within the first, I don't know, rounds 3 to 5 at tight end, probably. If that's what they're doing. So there's some news from Rookie Watch on Twitter. It says several NFL scouts, talent evaluators reportedly believe Bijan Robinson is a gold jacket type of player. Multiple scouts also have Robinson projects as a future Hall of Fame type player. Robinson is currently projected to be the first running back selected and the only running back taken in the first round this year. The earliest Robinson is being projected to go is 10th overall to the Eagles. It's crazy, dude. Doesn't mean anything, but, early projected. Yeah, totally. Rich says we need a superstar offensive lineman at 10 or 30. Bird's Eye View says Howie is a magician, but I would love 2 first-round talents in this draft. Yeah, we'll get 2 first-round talents, dude. I don't think I think if they trade back, it's gonna be if they could trade back either one of these picks. They could. I don't think with 10 you want to trade back too much. I'm not into trading. I could trade 2 to 4 spots, so I'm not going unless it's somebody else that they're going after. If Anderson's off the board, Carter's off the board, and like they have no interest in Bijan at all, and they just say, we're not, he's not even a guy that they're even kind of looking for right now. So we'll see. Rich says, or a superstar defensive lineman at 10:30. We don't need a running back in the first round. Dude, well, I'm telling you, man, you're going to have an offense that's going to put a lot of points on the board with a running back like that on top of the weapons you have. You got to take advantage of the situation right now. So I'm telling you, I don't want to get a lesser talent at running back. And look, if they got Jahmyr Gibbs, I'd be fine with that too. I wouldn't even complain about it at all. Eagles for Life says we got to go all this year, either trade up or use them. No more next year's first. Yeah, but anyone can run behind our offensive line. I totally get it, dude. But the problem is, I don't want to just put anybody back there. I want to put a top talent back there. There's a difference, a major difference in it. I don't care what the league is doing. I don't care that there's no premier backs. I don't care about any of that. I think the Eagles go. It doesn't mean that if somebody drafts a running back, this is gonna be the first time in a while, really since Saquon Barkley, that a team could draft a running back in the top 10. That's a good fucking team. Like Barkley had a good rookie year, and he really didn't have a good year until last year. At the last year of his deal. Most of the time, you don't want to take a running back in the first round because half of these fucking teams don't have offensive lines, or they're rebuilding, or they don't have a quarterback, but you're in a sweet spot right now where you just got out of the Super Bowl. Your offense is still intact right now. Starters and everything. Everybody is still intact besides Miles Sanders leaving, obviously. You know what I mean? And Samalo. You got a big chance here to really do something good here. DB says, thanks, Joe. I've kept it pretty civil today. Got to run. All right, DB. I'll see you later, man. Big Daddy Card said, I would pick the best athlete and a board, even if we don't have a need for him. Somebody will. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. They shouldn't skip on a player because they don't need him. They should obviously pick the best talent. Who's the best talent after Will Anderson and Jalen Carter? It's Bijan Robinson. That's the best talent. I don't care if the Eagles haven't drafted a running back since the 80s. I don't care if the Eagles haven't drafted. Everybody has their own narrative, to where, it fits them. You know what I mean? We haven't drafted a corner in the first round since early 2000s, but yet people wanted Gonzalez and Witherspoon. But why is that okay? You know what I mean? Fans need to chill out with times are changing, bro. Times are changing now. I don't care what the Eagles did in the past. What would I care? Why would I even care of what they even did in the past for a specific position? It's just, I don't know. That was so far, you and Philly have been right in who the Eagles take. First, it was Smith, and it was Davis. I'm telling you, after the combine and really just seeing Davis and what he could do, and I think Davis is going to be a really good player. I think Davis played really well into that high ankle sprain last year. I think he played very, very well. Okay, but when you talk about moves being made, Devontae Smith was boom. That was our dude. We guessed on Jordan Davis being there, and we got him. We jumped in front of the Ravens and got him. You know what I mean? Aggressively got him with a couple, fifth rounders, whatever it was. 3 picks that we gave up just to move up in front of them. So we've been right about some things. We've been wrong about a lot of other things. So it's either or, Rogue says draft Robinson at 10, trade up to 30. Trade up the 30 pick into teams to get on offensive line or defensive line. It's the best. Yeah, I would be perfectly fine with that. They draft a running back at 10 and they moved up. That's for a trench guy. I'd be totally fine with it. I wouldn't have an issue. Jack says, Eagles need to improve the offense because no one of the guys will be available will make a big impact on defense. Yeah, I feel like even if they draft, like, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, even if they took 2 defensive guys with the first 2 picks, like, I don't think it changes your defense in 1 year. I don't. I think the coaching's going to be more important than anything else. And I don't think your roster's that bad on defense. Is it as talented as last year? No. But with better coaching, I think, you know, when you have to compensate for less talent, you got to coach better. And that's the way it goes. Like, here's an example. Like, if I made a movie, if Netflix gave me $23 million to make a movie, or let's say they gave me like $100 million to make a movie, the biggest movie in the world, right? I could take shortcuts and I could just take it for granted and do easy CGI and make things look, and take shortcuts on a lot of characters and a bad script and get cash for it. Just how it looks. And I could do stuff like that. When you have a movie, if you make a movie like a fan film for $200,000 and you can't do all those effects, and you got to be more creative and make it what it is. Sometimes less money is better. Sometimes you have to compensate for less talent with better coaching. And that's a major aspect of it. I don't know. That's how I kind of think of it in a lot of ways. Andrew says, I hadn't heard about Ryan going to Tampa. Does that make Winfield expendable? I don't know. I think he signed a 1-year. I don't know. I think he signed with Tampa. If you look it up, I think he did. Yo, Rock, what's going on, dude? Kilgore said, I feel Bijan at 10. I don't know how to spell his name. Kalijah Cansey with our 30th. Yeah, it could be interesting. Jack said, Lurie said it's the offensive league and basically admitted no matter how good our defense is, a great QB will torch them. Yeah. But gotta get weapons around him too, Paige said, how far back do you think they need to move back to acquire an additional first round for 24? Probably a lot. Like a team that's like in the 20s, I don't know who, but a team that would aggressively move up to 10, it would be tough for me not to take that. If a team aggressively moved up and they were going to give the Eagles a first round pick for next year, I wouldn't be against it, but they would have to give us an extra second round for this year. Like, we would have to get another second round pick. Like, I'm not, if we're not getting an extra second rounder, I'm not taking an aggressive deal like that. Even for a first round pick next year, I don't care about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Coots. Yeah. That's the guy from Old Dominion. Yeah, interesting. That was from the other day. I forgot his name. So, Mr. No one not one to play with says the Jets are signing former Seahawks DT. Yeah, all right. Well, he's gone then, right? I figured that was a guy that was still. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. Appreciate AO for the tweet as well. Yeah. So he's gone. No, he's gone now. I mean, I think before I didn't think. I mean, he was still available, but I don't think they would have brought him in. I mean, they already brought in Kadavius Street, so I didn't think they would bring in him as well. It was really Kadavius. Not even really Kadavius Street. I didn't even know Kadavius Street was even available. To be honest, I didn't even know he was even available. But they brought in a lot of guys that have had past injuries. Morrow's had past injuries. Kadavius Street has had injuries in his career. Obviously, Greedy Williams has had injuries in his career. I mean, that's why. I mean, Rashad Penny. That's why he was $600,000 guaranteed, because, yeah, he was hurt. That's what you're going to get from some of these guys. Turles, I don't think the Eagles want to start Juergens at guard next to Kelce. I think they would want a bigger guard next to Kelce to be against. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but we'll see. I mean, the draft will tell us what's going to happen with that offensive line. I think they like Juergens a lot, but the problem is, like, you're going to redshirt him another year, though. So that means you only got 2 more years. And if Kelsey retires, you got 2 years with Juergens to see what he could do at center. And he's very athletic. He's got great technique. You know, this is a collaborative pick from Howie Roseman and Jason Kelsey, you know, which is pretty cool, you know. As Torrey says, I don't mind dying on the hills alone, but I still want Brian Branch to come to the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, I've seen him on some mock drafts in the first round at 30. I've seen him on a lot of mock drafts at 30 for the Eagles. I'd be shocked. You might be dying alone on that hill. But yeah, it could be. It could be. Could be a possibility. But we'll see. You know, I don't think they draft a safety in the first round. They've hit on that position twice already. So, which is already telling me they're not going to go after safety early. I don't even think they have a safety on a pre-draft visit yet either. On top of it. So, Andrew says, if I like Brian Branch, but I think you could get Winfield for the same draft pick from Tampa, and Winfield's proven. Yeah, no, Winfield is great. I think he's awesome. I mean, the problem, yeah, he's cheap. He's got 1 more year left. He's dirt cheap, but what are you going to have to give up for a young, good player like that? That's going to be the problem. You know, that's a huge problem right now. Yo, Ron, what's going on? He said, what is good, Shakes? Just stopped in. How we doing? We're doing good, man. We're just chilling, dude. We're just chilling. Yo, Ryan Roman, what's going on, man? Fine High says, do you think A.J. Brown will retire as an Eagle? I don't know. I mean, I think after his contract's up, he's gone. I think he's just going to move on. I think Devontae Smith will be here for his whole career. I don't think A.J. Brown will ever re-sign with the Eagles. And they're not going to re-sign both guys. So, Lois says, Howie values top blue chip talent. We also value plays the odds. If put in position, be able to draft top 50 talent for years. It's a smart move. Yeah, no. I like the, you know, you got to take risks, dude. If you don't take any risks, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to take risks. In the draft, you got to take risks. You got to take a lot of risk as a GM. You can't play it safe. You play it safe, you ain't going anywhere. But if you're aggressive and smart at the same time when it comes to cap, when it comes to draft compensation, give up for players or trades, yeah, you could put yourself in a fantastic position. Jackson, why have the best line and use backs that make the O-line seem just above average? Get Bijan. As much as I could put a lesser talent at running back behind this offensive line and still look good, but putting a talent like Bijan Robinson behind it is just the league will have fear. The league wants to make sure that this is not going to happen. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I'd give it a little bit. So, yeah, we got 3 weeks until the draft, guys. So we got three whole weeks. John says acquire Aaron Donald. They're 36 and 24 second round for our 92nd pick and second rounder. We can still catch. Still can draft depth. Yeah, I don't know if they make a move. And I think Aaron Donald would never leave LA. That's just he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, dude. Like, he ain't moving nowhere, unfortunately. It's just not gonna happen. As the teams that draft running backs in the first round rarely ever make the playoffs, and sure as hell don't win the Super Bowl. History says Bijan 10 is a reach. Well, this is a good offense, man. You're not, you know, usually a top 10 team isn't a good team in the draft. The top 10 team in the draft is not a great team that came out of last season. The Eagles came out of a Super Bowl last season, a Super Bowl loss, and have their offense still intact right now. I think that's the difference with a lot of teams that draft running backs early, is that they don't have the right pieces around. So it kind of makes no sense. So, you know, we'll see. Let's see here. Ryan Roman says, I think it's done to Bijan Robinson or Jalen Carter. I think so too, man. I think so too. Yeah, I don't know. AJ wants to be with Hurts. Jock said, I would love the Eagles to take a flyer on Fluker. But he says Eagles really hit first round of lineman. Lane Johnson is the exception. Well, I mean, why is there such a narrative? Like, I don't get. I'm not mad at anybody that says this, but I don't get why fans say crap like this. They don't normally hit. They don't normally hit. Like, why can't they hit a guy? Like, I don't get why the narrative changes because of what they've done in the past. Like, I don't get it. I think they've drafted really well the past couple of years. I think the 18 draft and obviously these last couple seasons have been, these last couple off seasons have been really good. Howie did a complete 180, no doubt. Okay. And like, I feel like I feel like that it's going to change, man. I feel like it's going to change. I feel like the Eagles are changing, man. Talk, hey Joey, how are you? No, you're good, bro. You're good, man. I hope you're having a good day, man. Says would not be upset if we took Bijan. No, I would be ecstatic. Obviously, we're gonna be like flipping out. Trust me, you know why. Yo, Stony Hawk, what's going on, dude? Especially the NFC area managers aren't blind to Howie and how good he those. I bet they are not going to do him any favors and want to make it hard on his as much as possible. Yeah, most teams sitting at 10 got a lot more problems than we do usually. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, every player in this draft is looking at the top board. Like, any player that's going to be drafted early is looking at the board saying, damn, like the Eagles are a good team coming into the top 10. Whoever gets that team is going to have success, probably will have success, especially if you're an offensive player. I think you're going to have a lot of success. Big Dad Count says, Joey, who is the best tight end in the draft? Can you imagine two tight ends with hands that can catch in this offense? I honestly don't know who's the best tight end in this draft. I haven't watched every tight end prospect yet, so I couldn't really tell you. I haven't gone through every tight end in this draft yet. That's the truth. So, but obviously, the name everyone talks about is Darnell. That wasn't a pure starter, to be a number 2 behind Dallas Goedert. And, I wonder, I think, I don't know if he'll be a first round pick this year. He could be a second rounder for a team, but we'll see. Hamaga says, how about we draft Bijan at 10 and then we trade our other first round pick for Jeffrey Simmons from Titans? The problem with that is paying Jeffrey Simmons. He wants an extension. You're not trading for him to rent him for the year for a cheap cap hit. Okay, he's going to get a lot of money, dude. Like these defensive tackles there's no way he's coming here on a cheap extension. He's going to get paid $20 million a year or more than that. That's just what's going to happen, bro. As much as I would love it, and he would come here for a cheap deal, cheap extension, it's probably not going to happen. Fine High says, ever since Nick Sirianni was brought in, we've been drafting really well. Yeah, and I think it's because Jeffrey Lurie has took a step back. I think Andy Weidel was bumping heads with Howie Roseman all the time. I think Howie really hasn't been the problem. I don't think Howie's been the official problem for a while. I think, honestly, it's been bumping heads with analytics and Jeffrey Lurie bumping heads with him. I think after there was a lot of rumors that came out that once Nick was hired, like everyone took a step back, and Lurie opened up a lot of leeway for Nick and Howie in the draft room, for these off seasons, and that could be the reason why. Ron says, would anyone else be surprised AJ doesn't take a pay cut to stay with Hurts? Oh man, AJ sees all these vets staying for less money. I wouldn't be surprised if he follows suit and does the same. But he might not either. Who knows? You know, like you gotta think of it like this. The only thing we can put our hat on is that he's best friends with Hurts. And that might help him out a lot because they talk a lot and they're best friends. But number two, AJ Brown wasn't drafted in Philadelphia. He wasn't drafted to the Eagles. You know, these guys that aren't drafted here, the guys that have been here their whole career or been drafted here are going to want to stay here, and you know, more likely will take discounts for this team. When the guy's not drafted in Philadelphia, it's really hard to see where you kind of really see their true colors of where their loyalty is at. You know, and I think that's a huge difference going forward. Chris, if Carter, Bijan, T. Wilson at 10, those three will be blue chip players. Yeah, I mean, Tyree Wilson's another one you can get in the mid-teens if you really want. Rich, the Eagles' formal is having the best defensive line. We will go far. We already can put up points. I want to put up more points. I want to be unstoppable. I don't feel comfortable with Rashad Penny. I just don't. As much as everyone's like, I like him, and if I got a promise that he was going to be perfectly fine this year, I wouldn't mind it. The problem is there's no way Howie signs him, and Boston Scott's not even like, I don't even count Boston Scott resigning. He resigns every single year for a year. Okay. I don't even take too much into it, but I'm telling you, man, like I don't think Howie Roseman's comfortable with the running back core that he has right now. I don't care if Penny is healthy right now. Can he play 17 games? That's going to be the problem. You know, that's the question. So, Eagles fan for life. I think the Eagles and the Bears have had the same draft board this year. Well, they need offensive line and defensive line, so the Bears really need trench guys badly. I hope the Bears go offensive line or something. I mean, Payne Taylor says, "Are you confident going the season with Quez, the wide receiver 3, or want to acquire some competition?" I want to acquire some competition, but I'm not giving up on Quez. I'm not giving up on him. I think from what I've heard, I mean, I talked to Joe. Joe Castro has talked to Quez's trainer this past season. And what, you know, he has on his channel. You could look it up, and you know, I just really think that Quez just needs to. Obviously, he wasn't healthy, which we found out with a grade 2 shoulder sprain I think it was after the Steelers game. I forgot what game it was. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on Quez. I don't want to get rid of him, nothing like that. I just think, yeah, you need to get like one more body at wide receiver, whether it's Flowers, I don't know who they want to add, but I think they got to add somebody. I think they need to add somebody there. So move down this chat a little bit. Dan said Tank Dell will probably be in the third. I don't know where Tank Dell is going to go, bro. His size, it's really his size that bothers me. Like, I can think of him as like, yeah, he's a burner. You know, I get it. His movement is great. Break of his route is fantastic. He's like just so slippery and twitchy, which I love. The problem is he's just small, dude. Was he like 5'8", 160 something pounds? Like that's the issue I have with him. Can he even last as a special teamer? Like, I feel like the Eagles can bring him in. Like, you know, I don't know if I think people are putting way too much into him. I think if he was a little bit bigger, it'd be a different story, but he's got no lower body. He's like a hit away from breaking chopsticks, bro. That's how I am. Like, I wouldn't take a chance in the third round on Tank Dell. Tank Dell is probably not going to be a third round pick. Probably not. Like, I'm done with the Donnell Pumphreys. I'm done with the Adrian Killens type players that have this track star speed. And I feel like we're overhyping him a little bit. I think he has a lot of talent, immense amount of talent, no doubt. But the size is the problem for me. If ever life said, I never would have believed Nick would be this good. I mean, his first head coach year, we went to the playoffs. Yeah, went to the playoffs first year. I mean, he was a laughing stock, dude. I mean, he was the laughing stock at his press conference. And, everyone, really just everybody just attacked him. And I just didn't, I get it. He was nervous, and then the flowers and the roots and all the talk about that. And people ran with it, man. And obviously he inspires this team. Your head coach is the first one that needs to set the standard for, the culture. And I think that's what he did. And then Jalen Hurts came in and really changed it in a positive way. Reb says, I need another 20-minute rant video. A rant on what? Don't worry, I'll rant about something. Jackson, I think Arcega-Whiteside and Reagor were Lurie picks. Otherwise, how he would have. Yeah, it's just that's what I get really confused on. Is I think obviously Reagor and Whiteside were analytical picks. There's no doubt about it. They passed up on so many receivers. JJ was the only receiver with less than 5 catches on that list. It's crazy. It's nuts. Reagor was the best player available for scheme and horrible. Eddie says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but Howie ain't picking Bijan at 10. Eddie. You never know. Because if they pick Bijan at 10, I'm going to fucking rip everybody. If they pick Bijan at 10, I'm telling you right now, half of you guys did not think they were trading for AJ Brown. When I made that AJ Brown was working out when AJ Brown was working out with Jalen Hurts, and I made that video about that, people fucking killed me on that. People attacked me so hard on that video. And then when it happened, I'm telling you, dude, anything's possible, dude. Anything is possible. We're just talking about a pick. We're not talking about paying a player or getting a receiver and paying him, which we didn't think that was going to happen. So Bijan and Jalen Hurts have the same agent, number one. Okay. There's no doubt in my mind that Hurts has said something about maybe a guy that he really wants or a guy that's really going to help this team. I'm telling you, dude. It's all speculation at the end of the day. We don't obviously know. That's the exciting part about this whole thing. So when someone says, oh, we're not getting him, it's like, okay, well, you never know. Things happen. Nothing surprises me. Eagles fans for life says Nick has done a great job. I never would have believed he would be this good this past second season as head coach. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I didn't know what he was going to become here. I didn't know what was going to happen with him, but we'll see. Because if Carter slides out of the top 5, you think how he moves up to take him? I feel like he has to. Yeah, probably. I don't think he's going to last till 10. I don't think he's going to make it there. I don't think. Harris says Carter and Branch in the first, Gibbs in the second. Hertz VFX says draft Carter at 10, trade with Commanders second, send the second from New Orleans and maybe a comp pick 24 for pick 16, then draft Bijan in the second round, draft Battle in third, Marvin Mims or Tank Dell. I would get Marvin Mims. I'm a big fan of Marvin Mims from Oklahoma a lot. I do like him a lot. So Battle will be a great pick in the second round if they want to go in that direction. But I don't know if Bijan's going to last that long, though. But we'll see. If Bijan's not touched until that pick, I mean, that would be pretty cool to trade back. And, with a trade with the Commanders or something like that would be pretty cool. But I don't know if it would be realistic, but we'll see. Track says, I really think Jamar Gibbs doesn't get. No, I don't. I don't either. I feel like, when it comes to his pass catching, it's really good, man. Like his receiving, getting the ball in his hands, what he does after the catch, his vision. You got to line him up anywhere on the field. He's just, just so crafty. I love the guy. They drafted him. This team will be beyond dangerous. You think if I say talk about Bijan so much, great, but get Gibbs in this offense too, man. It's gonna be trouble, man. It's gonna be trouble. We should have kept Miles Sanders. They could have. They could have, but obviously with all those holes on defense, it was really tough. I mean, you're losing one running back and a guard with Cam Jurgens already sitting there with a heavy offensive line draft, a heavy running back draft. Why would you re-sign Miles Sanders? That's kind of where I go about it. If the draft wasn't heavy on running backs, the offensive line wasn't, if the offensive line, there wasn't a big draft class for offensive linemen this year, I could probably say that maybe, but here. Torville says, Kendrick Miller is my favorite running back in the draft. Average over 7 yards carry, patience, but gets north and south quickly and has great vision. He isn't a running back who dances. Yeah, no, like you said, he's got really good patience. He kind of sees things develop before gets into that second level and gets that big shift of speed. Kendrick Miller is good too. There's a lot of good running backs. Bigsby is probably my favorite one. If we're talking about a lower talent, Bigsby is probably my favorite one because I think he evades defenders really well, really, really fast, and obviously welcomes a lot of physical contact, which I really do like. So Tank Bigsby is one of my favorites too. So Chris says Gainwell will get traded if we get Bijan. How he loves his mid-round picks. It could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. I mean, I'd be kind of stunned a little bit, but I mean, you can get it. You can definitely get a draft pick for him. You can definitely get a mid-round pick for him if it's a straight up pick player. I think so. Yo, Brand, what's going on, dude? Ace, I really like Pascal and how he worked in out offense. Yeah, I did too, man. I liked him too. Unfortunately, he signed with the Cards, so which kind of sucked, but. Tracks, I want Jarvis Landry. Just depends on what he's asking for. I would pass on Landry. I'm not even a big fan of Landry. Tank got Sproles vibes. Yeah, he's real quick, man. For a big man, he moves pretty well. Pause. Chris says, Quez is good enough for this offense. We have such a talent on offense. I think Bijan would put this offense with the greatest offense of all time. He's that good. That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, people just don't want to take him. People just don't want to take him. People go by what the Eagles done 30 fucking years ago, and I can't stand when fans talk about it because it's really annoying at this point. But AO says, I like the guy out of Ole Miss. Mingo, AJ Brown is the comparison. Ron said, do you think we could take division again this year? I think so. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to the Cowboys and Eagles again. So it'll come down to both of those teams. I think the NFC East will still be good. I think the Giants will still play pretty well. I think the Giants will still play pretty well too. The problem is that they've I guess upgraded their defense a little bit. Maybe I don't know. They've upgraded their wide receiver. I don't know if they've even upgraded their wide receivers that much. I think they got a better tight end in the building, but Sterling Shepard, Campbell, I don't know. It doesn't really scare me too much. Fan for life. So I actually like the Rager pick. I was wrong, but man, I thought he would have been a guy to take the top off. Yeah, I thought he would. I thought he would have been. Thought he would have been. So we will see. Sorry. Torvo says, I was a fan of Qued's potential, but he still runs sloppy routes, doesn't battle for the ball, and drops critical passes. We might have been keep him this year, but we should consider upgrading. I wish you would have re-signed Hargrave. If we re-signed Hargrave, I probably would have been really pissed off, to be honest. Like, there was no way they were paying him $21 million a year. It just was at 30 years old. It just wasn't going to happen. But I want that another 20-minute rant vid on Bijan. I love that shit. I went off that video, man. I went off. And look, it's just an opinion at the end of the day, you know, like that's all it is. Like, I'm not you know, we'll see. We'll see. Gail says, I like the ranting videos. They're interesting, informative, and entertaining. Keep them coming. Haven't done one in a while. Eagles fan for life says, after the Super Bowl shit show from Miles Sanders, I was done with him. I'm glad he was gone. Like everybody says, anyone can run behind this line. Chris says, Eagles fans, Jeremiah and Bijan is a generational player. He's the third best player in football. You know, he was involved with the Eagles. He knows talent. Yup. If you ever realized that Penny probably would be cut, or Scott will get or Scott if we get Robinson. No, Scott will be here. I think Scott will be here. Penny will be here. I think everybody will be here. Scott will just play full time at special teams. Like last year they did that. They didn't even put Scott as a running back for a lot of games last year until like the end of the year. Really, they didn't really use Scott that much last year until like the end of the year. Hurt says, this draft should determine how we're going to do for the next 5 years. Have to make the most and draft players that are good. Can't afford busts in this draft. No, I don't think the Eagles are going to do that, man. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, 12 million. Yeah, definitely. Not 21. No. Chris says, I also keep hearing fans saying we need a wide receiver because A.J. Brown contract is up in 2 years. I guarantee A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith will be there for at least 8 more years. Yeah, I mean, I think A.J. Brown will move on if he doesn't take a cheap deal, and Devontae Smith will get an extension. You got to re-sign Devontae Smith to an extension. That's like number one. Thanks says, how crazy is that Cardinals used to be the NFC East and Colts were in the... Yeah, that's kind of crazy, dude. Jack says Covey's problem was crappy blocking. And that is true. I think Covey was very raw last year. The blocking was pretty bad. It was really bad last year. You want to say what's the biggest weakness to this Eagles team is it's special teams. It's across the board. It's really bad. It's the worst probably in the league. I mean, it's that bad. I think you got some return guys. Devin Allen should have another shot in competition, and why they just don't give it to him, or not give it to him, but at least give him a shot. I don't know. Frank says Scott can just come in to troll the Giants. I don't know why we kept Michael Clay. I don't know why they gave him a raise. I don't get that whole situation. Bordeaux says Steve Cowboys will try to jump us for Bijan if we trade back. Torville says Miles was good, but he was too much of a dancer, bounced around outside too much. If Penny can stay healthy, then we will be better at running back versus Miles. Could be. Jack Dwight says, great show. I appreciate it so much, man. Appreciate Super Chat too, man. Yeah, dude, we're just we're getting ready. We have 3 weeks till the draft. We have 170 people in the chat. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the stream. If you guys haven't, like the stream up. If you haven't checked out the pinned comment for memberships for draft content, check all that out. We got. I didn't put out one last night. I was supposed to. I'm gonna have more today and a video later today. So check all that stuff. Make sure you pre-order your Draft 5 merch and for support of the Philly Shakedown as well. Make sure you pre-order the Philly Shakedown merch by April 14th. If you don't, you will not get your merch on time for the draft. My hat was just mailed to me the other day. It was sent out the other day. Philly should have his probably by tomorrow, probably. So we'll be rocking them out. Check it out. You'll love it. I'm taking Bijan at 10, dude. If Will Anderson and Jalen Carter are not there, that's where I'm taking them, right there. Alex says from best to worst, ST. Yeah. Got getting off the wire with the super chat. Says, hasn't Clay been here since the Chip Kelly era? No. Mm-mm. No, Dave Phipp was here with Chip. Dave Phipp was here with Chip, and he came in. He was with Chip when he was with the 49ers. He was a special teams guy with the 49ers at that time when Chip became the head coach to the 49ers. And then came here. So, not a fan of it at all. So, I don't know why. I don't know why they just didn't like go out there and try to find something. I wish there was just something, you know. Let's see here. Yeah, there's nothing really much else going. I really like the the Marcus Mariota press conference a lot. I really do like him as a person, and I think he'll help Jalen out a lot. I think having two quarterbacks with almost the same skill, with a very similar skill set, is really going to help. It's going to not take too much away from Brian Johnson if Hurts got to stay out a game or something. Knock on wood. GG, what's going on, dude? He says, Joey, I'm at work. Bros can't stay. Just stop by to say what's up. What's going on, dude? Enjoy your day at work, man. Enjoy your day. Everybody's got to work. Everybody's got to work and pay the bills. You know what I mean? Chris says, I think Penny and Bijan would be better duo over Bijan Gainwell. I'm sorry for not a big fan of Kenny G. Hasn't good until the end of the season. Bijan is a better pet. Well, yeah. I mean, Kenny G, for a 5th round pick, Kenny G's pretty damn good. He's really good. And it's not like Kenny G has some like special like running skill set. Like he's an average runner, can catch the ball out of the backfield and go out for passes, but he's very underrated. I think he can make guys miss. He can get extra yards on contact. I think he's great. Like I've had no issue with Kenneth Gainwell. No issue at all. None. Anthony, what's going on? Says, don't forget to join the official community Discord for more Eagles talk and future voice calls with Joey. Definitely, yeah. Anthony is one of the guys that runs one of my good friends on here that runs the Discord. My official Discord. Definitely check it out. We all talk football in there. I haven't been in there in probably a week. I'm gonna jump in there and talk some football. See what you guys are thinking in the Discord. So. I appreciate so much, Ant, for put the link up, dude. Definitely join up on the Discord if you guys have it. Dave said, Joey, stop and smash the like button. Just got done swimming with dolphins, brother. You're the best. Thank you for everything you do. Swimming with dolphins, man. Where the hell are you at? Where the hell are you at, dude? I'm good of the birds. Take a lineman at 10. The offense is now the bread and butter. It is, dude. It totally is. Eli Life says, what I love about Joey and 500 videos, you could be yourself. Unlike Tom Grossi, you will get timed out for just rooting for your team. Tom Grossi's cool, man. I like Tom. Tom's actually rated my streams a couple times last season. He rated my stream a couple times, which was pretty cool. So Tom's a cool guy. Tom does a lot for people too. So I'm in Orlando, Florida. I was at Discovery Cove. Oh, dude, lucky you, man. Well, I hope you enjoy it, man. You deserve it. Work your ass off, dude. Jock says, Anthony, is the NFL news working? I haven't. It should be. It should be. The tweet should be up. I don't know why it should. I'll check on that later and see what's going on with that. I'll check what's going on with that. Let's see here. Eagle Fan for Life says, I love Tom's videos, just mods rule with an iron fist. Oh, really? The mods like kick people out? Well, that sucks. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that's why I'm very limited with mods, because like people get blocked because of bad opinion, and that really annoys me. That's why I can't fucking stand about it. Like, mods are great. I used to give out mods for people that became a member, and I stopped doing that because, yeah, I stopped doing that. I used to do it like that, and I was like, nah, that's a really bad. Because really someone can become a member and then unsubscribe from it and then like just block people. It's really annoying. Joey, what would be your dream first round picks? My dream first round picks right now would probably be Bijan at 10 and Kalijah Cansey at 30. Right now. David Joey's Haas balls near 100 all week. Was not ready for that pot. Cannot wait to get back 40-50 back in Philly. Well, dude, enjoy what you're doing, man. I'll be on vacation in a couple of months. Once June, July hits, I'm gonna have a plan for those dead months. I won't be uploading as much, at least for June. I won't be uploading as much. So yeah, that's where we're heading. G the Red say, hey bro, what do you think about trading back from 10 if Carter is gone? I feel like Levis will be there. Team would want him. Then we can look at Bijan. Yeah, we could if Bijan lasts that long, but they have to be careful on the trade backs. They don't overreach too much on trading too far back. So Jock says, I've been with you, Joey, since 17, bro. That's awesome, dude. Eagles Fan for Life says, I said go Eagles twice. I got put in timeout for 20 minutes. No, what? That's not cool. Can't do that. That's not cool. Vince says, I'm convinced you just like saying the name Bijan. Probably. You're probably right. I'm going to be saying Bijan's fucking name for like 3 more weeks. So you're in for a rough 3 weeks, I guess. After, if he's not drafted here, I'll be done. Like, obviously, I'll be done. I'll like say, oh my God, he went to this, whatever. I'll complain about it. But Torvo says, Joey, have you seen defensive props of Felix Uzma from Kansas State could be a great pick. I don't know if I've heard that name. I don't know if I'm being tricked. I don't know if you're trolling or I have no idea. But no, I haven't. If it's a real name, I have it. Chris says, I agree with I love Kansas for Bijan. Kansas is the perfect comment for Davis. He's a pass catcher, and Davis is a dominant run stopper. Edeland says, New England will take Bijan 14. The Eagles want him. It's either at or not at all. And he says, and if we draft Bijan, he's going to be saying it every Sunday. Exactly. Oh, man. Dude, like, the draft is weird. As much as the draft it's so, some people just don't like the excitement of the draft. People get really stressed out, and I don't know why people get really stressed out over it. I don't get it. Like, this is like, I love the offseason. I think I like the offseason better than the season itself. Like, no joke. Because, well, number one, I have more free reign to do whatever I want in the offseason because I have more free time in the offseason. But just of what to do, like the excitement of what the Eagles are doing. Look what we did last draft. AJ Brown trade. I mean, just great. But at the same time, you got 2 first-round picks this year, man. Like, I will never not like the offseason. You'll never realize that, hey, sometimes we got to speak things to existence. Yeah, dude. Like, look, if we don't get Bijan, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'm not going to be upset about it. You know what I mean? It won't. Oh, man. I might have another rant today. I had a plan for another video for today, but I might actually change it up today. I might actually change it up a little bit. Chris says, it was I agree. There's talk about New England really well. Yeah, New England, yeah. There was news that came out the other day. Obviously at 14 that they're very dangerous at 14 to get him. So I don't know how far you can move back here if you want to get some picks. You know, if you still want to draft Bijan but move back, I don't know if that's the right choice. I don't know if it's really the right decision. You know what I mean? Rogues, have you seen Undisputed lately? They've been talking about the Cowboys getting B. Robinson. He's not dropping the 26. I don't know. I mean, who knows, man? What if he does drop, you know, and the Cowboys aggressively move up? I don't know. The one thing, if the Eagles don't get him, and if the Eagles do not get him, if he goes to Dallas, I'm going to be really fucking pissed. I'm going to be really – if you want to see me pissed, I'm going to be really pissed. Bijan gets drafted to our Eagles family. Everyone will be praising that name every Sunday. We'll be having turkey, lettuce, tomato sandwiches with some Bijan mustard on the side. Yeah. We will. Loves the Seahawks lost DL Quentin Jefferson to Jets. Yeah, I seen that. I saw that. He's there because they think they can win a championship. With Aaron Rodgers going there, I think anything's possible. So we haven't even seen a what's it called? A Sean Desai press conference yet. Like what is he fucking special? Like what's going on? Is this man like too special to have a press conference? To at least like, hey, I'm your defensive coordinator and you know, this is what we're gonna do this year and what I'm all about. And I don't know, at least something to kind of I don't know. Is he fucking special? I don't know. So I feel like the Jets defense ain't no joke. If they get Aaron, no, they're gonna be tough. Yeah, but we don't know how good like he's gonna play though. Like they're putting all their chips into him, and he's like, "Oh, this is my wide receiver list. I want these wide receivers on my list." Like they're like, I hate when teams cater to a quarterback like he's a fucking god. Like I can't stand that shit. And we don't even know if he's gonna play good. The Jets are trying to get compensation back in case Aaron doesn't work out, like a third round conditional that turns to a second or something. They're trying to get something back for Aaron Rodgers. Did I say Aaron Donald or I say Aaron Rodgers? I think I just said Aaron Donald. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers. That's the way. And he said, I just noticed no conference ever made. Joe said, I like the right tackle from Ohio State. I'm done. I'm not getting tricked anymore. You could trick 500 tomorrow. So on Saturday, I love it when he reads. Like I'm glad like he takes over these streams for the Shakedown, and I just sit there and I just look at him like embarrass himself kind of because it's funny. I think it's hilarious when you kind of trick him into saying names and he reads stuff really fast. I love it. We're not drafting lick my balls at 30. Rogue says there is only one B. Robinson. The Eagles need to pick him at 10. There are tons of defensive tackles and offensive linemen we could draft at 30 to trade up. Eagles fan for life says, yeah, this is crazy, man. I think he is 1 foot out the door. This will be his last hurrah. Yeah, I think so too. Pay attention. How much you'd be willing to give in return for Jeffrey Simmons? It's not about what we're giving up. The problem I have with Jeffrey Simmons is the contract. You're not trading him just to rent him for the year. I'm done doing this shit. He's a young player at 25, 26. He wants to get paid a lot of money, and the Eagles just can't afford it. It's 100% not going to happen. There's no way. Jock says Mina Kimes on NFL Live, Eagles draft Bijan, it would be like a cheat code. Yeah, they ain't gonna get me. They won't get me. I know, dude. I look at this stuff. I read it before I actually read it. So Philly Legend says, Joey, do you think there's not much not shot? Joey, do you think there is not shot Branch makes the 30, or is a potential trade up possible for him? I don't think they take a safety in the first round. I'm not saying it because the Eagles don't value the Eagles haven't drafted the safety in the first round in this many years. No, it's because the Eagles have already hit that position 2 times already with Justin Evans and Terrell Edmonds. I don't think they hit that spot. I don't think they hit it anymore. I think they already hit that spot too. They've already hit it twice already. I don't think they hit it anymore. Later round, sure, but Branch, probably not. Thanks. The Eagles won't have any pressure for coaches until the spots that fill. The coaching staff isn't complete yet. Yeah, the rest of Gibbs and Tank are solid running backs as well. Yeah, it's definitely true. Tank Bigsby is one of my favorite running backs in this draft. Yeah, I'm so tired of Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. The man chokes. Dude has all these MVP awards, yet has no more than a ring to show for. Eagles fan for life says the Titans will want probably a first round or boatload of picks. They value him high, and plus they have a new GM too, man. And then he ain't gonna get tricked on anything anymore. Philly Legend says, understandable. Joey just wanted to hear. No, you're good, man. You're good. And look, I respect it, dude. Like if you think they'll draft a guy, Branch in the first round, who knows? They might. We might, who knows? We might get, really surprised. We might get shocked over it. I mean, who knows, man? So the digital printouts, what's going on, dude? It says, yo, Shakes cap went out today. You'll have it early to midweek. All right, dude, no problem, man. No problem. I appreciate it very much, man. I was talking to Philly last night about the hats and stuff, and I appreciate it, dude, so much. Can't wait. I love the pictures, by the way. Digital Print House doing merch for the Philly Shakedown, does merch for Philly 500, and we'll be doing merch for this channel as well. So want to thank him for all his services and what he does, man. Thank you so much, dude. I have another idea on the table for you. That's probably going to be very easy for you to do. I just have to get the actual picture, and then you kind of just add to it. So I'll hit you up. But I appreciate all support, man. I thank you so much, dude. Yo, Green Blood. He says, I really think the best move would be to trade up to get Anderson and Carter. If they don't, I doubt they get either. I totally agree. That means they get Bijan. It's honestly crazy how unpredictable this draft is. So he says, yeah, running back room needs a stud in it, but it can't. If we can't land Bijan, Zach Charbonnet is a damn good option later on. Edmonds is a dog. Our backfield won't be a suspect as people think, especially if Blankenship takes another step. B. Lewis says, stop playing in Draft 5. That's what I'm talking about. Hashtag Draft 5. Pound Draft 5. Pound. However you guys want to say it. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about, bro. So we're going to go for another few minutes. We'll go for another few minutes. I got some other stuff to do today. I got some other content to put out today. I kind of want to do nothing tonight. Like tonight's one of those nights where like I want to do absolutely nothing but be a lazy piece of garbage. Like that's just one of those nights. And that's what I want to do. So yeah, we'll go for a few more. And then we'll call it a day. We'll call it a day. Yes, sirree. Yeah, he sent me Yeah, he sent me the picture. I fucking died. I died. He sent me the picture of the rainbow. What was it? Like a jean jacket? Ah, dude, he should wear that. He should put that on. Like literally put that on. So funny. People send him some crazy shit, man. I'm afraid to do a PO box in the field. I mean, I wouldn't do a PO box now because I don't have a, like I don't think I have a crazy following, but you know, maybe in the future, maybe in the future. And he says, "Hey, you work hard, Joe. You deserve to have a lead." Yeah, dude. Like it's been once June comes, like I'm in like vacation mode. I'm in like I usually when June hits, I usually do like a video every other day. Like every other day I'll do a video. Like I won't upload as much in the month, but obviously I'll update you guys and tell you like what's going on for this month when it's dead. June and July are dead months of football. There's nothing going on. People are on vacation. People are, it's the 2 slowest months of the year on YouTube. So yeah, I'm in like vacation mode, like boom, like that's it. So Dash said draft 5. Hook 'em. Eagles fan for life is a great show, Joe. Take it easy, man. You deserve a good night's rest. Till next time out, Joe. All right, Eagles fan for life. I appreciate it, man. Bob Brown says, Shakes, the issue is that we have no idea what Desai is thinking about the pieces on D. It will cost a lot to buy into the 3-hole early. If Anderson is there at 3, Arizona might not move. No, unless they make a trade before the draft. The Raiders want to move up to 3rd overall. The Titans want to move up to 3rd overall. The Patriots might even want to move up in the top 10. The more teams that move in the top 10, the better it's going to be for us at the end of the day. I think Bijan will be there at 10 regardless, but I still think you got to make a trade up for Will Anderson or Carter. I think you have to trade up in front of if the Cardinals make a trade back. If the Cardinals make a trade back, I think you still got to jump in front of Seattle. You might have to jump in front of them. It's steep. It's real steep. For Will Anderson, it's going to be real steep, But, yeah. Phil I wish you the best, Joey. Draft 5 for sure. Make sure you pre-order those hats, guys. There's the link for it. Make sure you pre-order those hats. Pre-order a hat. Get a trucker hat. Just pre-order a hat and support, man. The hats are out. So you only have probably another 8-9 days to pre-order before. Otherwise, if you pre-order after April 14th, then you won't get them by draft day. It might be April 16th, actually. I think it might be. You might get them just by the draft. You might get it just on time by, maybe a couple days after that date. You might get it on time. So we'll see. So yeah, definitely join up to Discord too. Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, definitely check out the hats, dude. Just get a hat, man. Support, man. Ready to go. But yeah, we're gonna get going, guys. It's a short one today. We only did like an hour and 44, but I want to get some other stuff done. I might do a little rant today, so we'll see. I have to work on some other stuff too for some other things I got to do as well. So, all right, guys, you guys subscribe to the channel, like the stream. If you guys haven't, make sure you are subscribed if you aren't. And we'll have more content out. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you join the memberships for the extra draft content and all the great stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.